DawnDares2Dream, I like to inspire and motivate adults to dream again. Because as we go through life and take on our different roles and responsibilities, we tend to put our dreams on the back burner. And my goal here at DawnDares2Dream is to help you pick those dreams back up and to pursue them again. Now, I want you to understand, I started DawnDares2Dream because I wanted to relay my message and my heart and my feelings across to whomever would listen. It can be difficult getting your closest family and friends to understand the way that you believe and when you try to express it and share it. So this was like my backdoor way into letting everybody know. Now, I may have lost some viewers as a result of that because they don't agree, and that's fine. I am definitely a proponent of everyone having their own thoughts, their own process, their own mindset that works for them. Your religion works for you, you keep that. No one's telling you to get rid of that. Whatever it is that works for you, continue to use it. I'm just saying that sprinkle some of this other information on it, this personal development information that I'm providing you, and see where your life takes you and how you take off personally. Always remember, we are in control of how we see our environment. I don't care what everyone says it looks like or everyone says it is. We are in control of how we choose to perceive the environment. We are on video 8. We are on video 8 of the Understanding the Laws of the Universe series. And with this law, I like this law. It's the law of relativity. I believe that it's very important for us to understand this law because basically it's just saying that depending upon how we think and feel about something is how the outcome is going to manifest. It's all relative to our own mindset. Do you understand? And you know how you hear everyone is always talking about mindset. So if you're on some kind of diet and you've joined some kind of diet plan, they're always talking about your mindset around food. Think about food differently. When you are working out, your trainer wants you to be committed to the days and times that you have stated you're going to come. And they want you to give your whole heart, whole body, whole mind while you're there. You want to put it all into the workout because that's all about your mindset. So I have a saying that says, stay committed to the commitments that you make to yourself because that's about mindset as well. I have a series called Mindset, Belief, Action because everything starts with our thoughts and our minds. Now, situations are going to come and they are coming to teach us so that we can grow from them. But it depends on how you look at the situation relative to what's going on in your life and relative to what has happened in your past, right? Great example I have now. When I first decided to move to Houston, Texas, it wasn't under good circumstances, some would say. I had just been diagnosed with being bipolar, and I just personally didn't feel like I got the support, in my home city around all my family and friends that I grew up with. I just didn't feel like I was getting enough support. I probably was getting a tremendous amount of support, but everything is about our perception. Remember, everything is relative to how we are thinking and feeling. Okay, so I was thinking that, I didn't have a lot of help and I needed to go. Now, I was getting evicted from the apartment complex that I lived in. And I had one of my cousins living with me because he didn't have anywhere to go. His parents had actually put him out. So said that he could no longer live with them. I don't know what he did for them to do that, but they did. I told him, well, you can come and stay with me while you figure things out because we have X amount of days or a couple of months on the lease before they would actually evict us. So you can stay here for free. He did give me, I think, $50 or $100 once, which I thought was really sweet, but it wasn't necessary because I wasn't making enough money to pay the rent in the apartment. If you watch the Bipolar series, you know that my cousin that was living with me, which was his actual sister, had moved out because there was an altercation while I was manic and it frightened her, which she has every right to be frightened, every right to leave. So she did, but I couldn't pay the rent. So my dad called and offered that I come to Texas. But the catch is this. I had a friend, I think I felt like I had a couple people actually offer that I could kind of stay with them while I got myself together. And these people were friends. I think I had 2 good girlfriends do that. I think the one that came to visit, and then my other one that I've known for longer than her, who I've been closer to. I think that either her or her parents offered to help me out. But I really didn't want to be a burden on my friends. So when my dad said he would help me, I left. Now, my dad had never opened his door to me. I probably would have took one of them up on their offer for a little bit while I got myself together. I don't believe it would have taken long because I'm a pretty resilient kind of individual. I've been through a lot of tough things in my life. And the one thing I know about myself is that I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to get up and I'm going to continue and I'm going to win. Okay. That's always been my mentality no matter what I go through. So I knew eventually everything would work out, but I didn't want to be a burden. So my dad offered for me to come here. I was like, okay, I'm coming. But I had family members who said, you sure you want to go live with your dad? You think that's going to be okay? And I just thought it was kind of funny. You aren't offering me any help. Because the 2 individuals who did ask me this question did not offer me any help, but they were concerned about me going to live with my dad, which is weird. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go live with my dad. And if it doesn't work out, I can always come back to Baltimore. I mean, like Baltimore's not about to pick up and run away, right? So I came here to Houston. So my mind was, I'm starting over. This is a fresh start. And I am going to enjoy myself and do what it takes to take care of myself and my newly understanding of my mental illness. But I'm going to enjoy my life and everything's going to be fine. And literally, I came here and my life took off. It turned around. But that's because in my mind, that was possible. And I will tell you why I knew this was possible. And, you know, as far as the law of relativity, how it worked for me in this situation. Growing up with my mother, we got evicted a lot. A lot. You know, I remember one time in 5th grade, coming home from school, and our furniture was on the street. And I was like, so I told my friend, I said, hey, looks like we moving today. Because, you know, I didn't know if she knew what it looked like when people got evicted or not. I don't know. But anyway, so we were getting evicted that day and I was walking home with my friends and it was kind of embarrassing. Now, but it happened a lot. Okay. So that's how I knew what eviction looked like because that wasn't the first time we had been evicted. Now, we always found a place. I don't know how my mother did it. She would get evicted from one place and then we would find a new apartment. Now, there would be a period where maybe I had to stay with an aunt for a little while to while my mother figured out where we were going to live and everything. But typically everything worked out. We were on our back in a new spot. Now, fast forward, this is as a child, but fast forward to I'm like 19 years old. I'm a freshman or sophomore in college. I really don't remember. And my mother got evicted. And I went and I stayed with one of my aunts and I was like, I have to get out of here because I was 19 years old. I was in college and I had restrictions placed on me. Like I was like this person who was in high school, like I was a little kid and I wasn't used to rules, to be honest, because my mother I didn't have any. Now I wasn't a big rule breaker, but I didn't have any rules to break. So when I went to stay with my aunt and uncle, they told me that I could stay with them. I think it was like a month where I didn't have to give them any compensation. And then the compensation when I had to give it was only $100. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was the principle of giving the money for staying there, but not the money itself. So I was like, okay, but I got out of there because I felt like I'm going to pay you this little bit of rent and then I'm going to pay you a little bit of rent and I'm going to have all these rules that I have to follow and that I have to follow just like my little cousins who are living here, which made no sense to me. So I got out of there. But again, I was very grateful and thankful for being in there. But even in that experience, I went from my mother to my aunt's and my uncle's home thinking about what was my future going to look like. My mother was going to get another apartment, but she told me when she got another apartment, I would have to like pay half of the rent. Did not have a problem paying half of the rent, except for my mother is not good with money. So I didn't want to live with my mom and pay her half the rent and she not have her half and I still get evicted. Because remember, I've been getting evicted my entire life. So I was like, I'm not doing that with her because she's not good with money. So what I did was I started looking around for my own place. But that's what I did. I looked around for my own place. I got an apartment. Now, I got an apartment in the hood and the apartment got broken into. But when I got home and I saw that my door was open and it had stole all my stuff, my first thought was, now I can move where I would like to move, because initially no one would rent to me. I was 19 and I had not rented an apartment before. So this was the best I could get in the hood where they were selling drugs on the street and everything. And so I knew my apartment was probably going to get broken into, but I knew no one was going to attack my person. You know what I mean? I didn't think that I looked like I had enough for you to come and attack me, but I felt like someone's going to break in this apartment. Now, I worked 2 jobs at the time, so I was hardly ever home. I did that on purpose because I was in the hood and I was really kind of afraid to be there. So I wasn't home a lot. I was home to sleep a couple hours to get back up and go to work, if that makes any sense. So when I came home and I saw it, I didn't freak out or anything. I called my cousin and I was like, hey, my apartment got broke into, can I come over your house tonight? And this is the same family that I stayed with before I got this apartment. So I went and stayed with them for a few days, and then I stayed with my mother for like a day in this new apartment that she had gotten. And then in the next week, it probably took me a week, 5 to 7 days, I had another apartment. And I lived in this apartment for 3 years and never had a problem. And you had to buzz to get in, and it was all nice. So the point I'm making is, your experiences are relative to how you feel about them and how you compare them to your past experiences. Like, if you think the experience that you're having right now is worse than a past experience that you've had, then you may feel ill-equipped to deal with it and it might not come out as a positive. But if you look at it as in a comparison to something you've been through before and how you got through that, then you know you'll get through this. And to be honest with you, that's how I look at everything. I've been through a lot of negative in my life, but I've always overcome. So my mindset says, when something that someone else is going to think is bad or negative comes along, I'm going to be fine because I just have to get to the other side of it. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get on the other side, but I know the other side is there. And all I know is I have to keep moving in the direction to get through whatever it is I'm going through, and I'll be a better person on the other side. So we have to choose our mindset. We're going to choose how we think about things, because nothing is good or bad. We make it so dependent upon or relative to how we choose to feel because of the things that we've gone through and how we want to look at what today means in comparison to what the past was. But I like to think that if I've been through all the different things I've been through in my life and I've gotten through them, then what makes this circumstance any different? It isn't. You're going to get through it. But be careful to not tell everybody when you feel like you're going through a rough patch. I don't tell people that I'm going through anything rough or that they will think is rough until I'm over it. Or unless I know this person can have some advice for me to get through or traverse what I'm going through, then I'll talk to them about it. But I'm always keep those kind of things close to my chest. You understand? And keep them to myself and pray about it, meditate about it, write some affirmations to make you feel better about it. But it's not always good, not even to some of your closest friends need to hear some of the negative things that you may be feeling about what you're going through, because once you start articulating that stuff in a negative manner, remember the other laws of the universe are coming into play. You're going to manifest that. And you don't want to manifest that. You want to manifest the positive. So even if you are going to tell somebody because you kind of want to vent a little bit, I say don't do it. I warn you not to do it. But if you do that with a person who's a positive person who's going to help you see the positive in what you're doing. And they're going to help you with writing your affirmation just by the way that they're speaking to you, and help to pick you up and not help you to lay and wallow in the complaining or the sadness, because that's what kind of gets us stuck. And that also prevents us from moving through the thing that we're supposed to learn and grow from fast enough, that it's like, poop, it's over, but instead you're moving very slowly through it. And it's because of your attitude and your mindset. So remember, with the law of relativity, it relates to the law of attraction in the sense that while we're working on those things, trying to manifest whatever, and it may not be coming in the manner in which we think it should, or manifesting fast enough, like what's going on was taking too long, the law of relativity is basically telling us to take a step back, stop and think about how we've labeled the situation that's preventing us from manifesting, and look at, from relative to what we've been through and what we've manifested in the past, how we can get through it and know that it's going to be okay. So if you have any questions, remember to definitely drop me a comment and I will start that open dialogue with you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Remember, my face is going to be up here in a circle. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, click on my face, select the gray bell, select all. That way you'll be subscribed to my channel and you'll be notified to all the new content that I place up here to YouTube. And I'm also going to place the Understanding the Universal Laws playlist over here on this side. And I think I may put the 10 Keys to Activating Law of Attraction over here or something, because I think what I've kind of talked about in this video relates to that series as well. So if you haven't watched that series, that's a good one to watch as well. I've enjoyed talking to my dreamers. Have a great day, dreamers.